You're listening to Women Living Better podcast with your host, Jennifer D'Amato. Episode number 6. Well, hello. I'm so glad you guys are here. So glad. I am recording this and getting pretty excited because it is so close to my birthday. Yes, I'm one of those people that loves celebrating her birthday to the point where I want to celebrate the entire month of my birthday. Absolutely. That means brunch with some friends, maybe a coffee date, lunch out. And this year, there's going to be a party. Yes, there is. There's going to be a big party because I'm turning 40 this year. Yes, I am actually one of very rare people, I think, that gets this excited about their birthday, and especially their 40th birthday, but I really am. I attribute most of that to the fact that I would say starting in high school, all of my friends have always been older than me, at least by a couple years, if not more than that. And up until very recently, I've always been the youngest person in the group. So I think it's always been this thing like, can't wait to get 40 because then somehow I've caught up with everyone when you're in that same 10 digits place. I don't know. Regardless, I'm very excited. But of course, birthdays for most people don't exactly mean joy and celebration. I can remember distinctly my husband's 30th, and he was not exactly the most thrilled human about turning 30. He handled 40 a whole lot better. But it just reminded me, not everybody is like me. Not everybody gets excited about their birthday. And it makes me wonder why. Why don't we get excited about that next year to come? And I think a lot of it has to do with the younger version of ourselves. That version of ourselves that dreamt about, that thought about, that may have envisioned who we are now, and they don't quite coincide. They're not equal. They're not even the same. The one that we dreamt up, the person we envisioned we'd become, and the actual true version of who we are now are not the same. They might have some parallels, okay, but I have to tell you, it's true for me. I know when I was a much younger version, I would say anywhere between 17 when I graduated high school and my very early 20s. I did get married at 21, met my husband when I was 17, turning 18 years old. But that younger version of me still envisioned me at 40. And envisioned the life I would have. If I paint that picture, it was I had my doctorate in psychology. I was a practicing psychologist. I had 2 kids. First, I had a boy, then I had a girl. I know that any of you who know that I have 4 girls are totally laughing right now. I know I'm laughing right now. I definitely still envisioned I'd probably live in Boston or somewhere around that area. It's all I knew. And I had this brick style home. And life was just busy and city living. That's exactly how I pictured myself. I pictured myself wearing suits, business women's suits, the kind of cute little pencil skirts, and then the jacket that matched and collared shirt underneath it, high heels on. Yes, please. That is exactly the version I pictured when I was a kid, picturing myself at 40. Well, here I am, about to turn 40. I'm sitting in a pair of leggings, a tank top, a little hoodie, and flip-flops sitting around because I live in Arizona. I don't wear suits ever. I have 4 daughters. I am not a practicing psychologist, though I am a certified health and life coach. So it is interesting. The things that are true inside us still come out one way or the other. But my life doesn't look anything like I thought it would when I was younger. And I would even tell you that when I was 25, just starting to have babies, I still envisioned 40. I still envisioned, what I always thought of as a real grown-up age. Of course, that changes the closer you get to that. But as this real grown-up age approach, I pictured a certain life and a way I would be and how life would look. And none of it really adds up to being that. I mean, I'm also a homeschooler. And I tell you, that was never in the plan. I know people that meet me and they know I homeschool and I've kind of got this thing down, but I've also been doing it for 11 years. So of course I should hopefully have something down that I've been doing for 11 years. However, it was never in the plan. And then I think about this younger version of me and the things that I would want to tell her. Have you ever talked to the younger version of yourself? I had an exercise once I did with a client where I had her actually write a letter to her younger self because her younger self was really doing some heavy work on holding back the current version, the older version of herself. And she had some things she had to let go of, that she had to forgive, that she had to tell the younger version of herself. It was one of the most therapeutic, healing exercises I've ever been part of with a client. It was so powerful. It got me thinking, this is over a year ago, what would I tell the younger version of myself? What does she need to hear? What do I need to let go of that she might still be holding on to deep inside of me that's not true anymore? What kind of things shaped her thought process, kept her where she was there, that I'm still holding on to now? You know, there's so much that happens when we're younger. There's so many years that we would say younger. You know, I would even tell you that the younger version of you is yesterday. Come on now. The younger version of you is yesterday. Things that were keeping you stuck there don't have to keep you stuck today. Things that you were struggling with, what do you need to talk to her about? What might you need to forgive her of? Choices that she made, things she used to say. You know, I do also get clients who, in their younger years, used to verbally abuse themselves, used to just call themselves names and body shame themselves, that they've had to let that go, release that part, forgive that part. There's some power in that. There's some real power in that. So I want to encourage you, maybe you need to get out good old-fashioned pen and paper and start a letter. Dear younger me, what would you say to her? What do you need to let her know to either release some things that are keeping you stuck, that you don't want to hold on to anymore? Or what words of encouragement might she need to hear to know that where you are now is perfectly beautiful, about where you're supposed to be? Sometimes we hang on to those dreams, those visions, those things we have that we believe at the time are so important. They don't let us fully embrace where we are. So grab the pen and paper. Start the letter. What do you want to say to that younger version? Maybe it's the younger version from when you were 5. Maybe it's the younger version of your teenage years, your early 20s. Maybe it is the younger version from yesterday. I would encourage you, send her a letter, put it out, and let it be. I'm curious, is this something that you need to do? Is this something that you know will just release you from some things that have really just been holding you back, that have been defining where you are now based on what you believe to be true back then? This exercise is powerful. I know for my client who wrote this letter, tears covered her letter, and she was only writing to herself. This wasn't about her parents. This wasn't about her siblings. This wasn't about her spouse or her own children that she had. This was her speaking to herself, that younger version. And I know, I distinctly remember how it was just tear-soaked paper as she released what she needed to say to her. I hope this speaks to you. If this speaks to you and you get out that pen and paper, I applaud you for taking that time, for taking that leap to enter into this exercise. Maybe this isn't for you. Maybe you don't feel that way, but you know a girlfriend who does. Maybe she needs to hear this episode and be encouraged to write that letter. Either way, I'm so honored. I'm just so honored and blessed that you're here taking the time for you and to think about those things maybe we don't spend a lot of time thinking about. All right, I'm going to go for now. Until next week, can't wait to meet with you guys again. Hey ladies, want to connect with me outside of this podcast? Well, come follow along on Instagram at Jennifer_health coach for life. That's Jennifer_health coach, the number 4, LIFE. Or on Facebook at Jennifer Coach, the number 4, life. Are you ready to take your health, physical and mental health, to the next level? Maybe it's weight loss. Maybe it's reducing stress. Maybe it's just support and accountability like you've never had before. I'm offering a free discovery session to you when you visit my website, www.healthcoachforlife.com. That's www.healthcoach4life.com. Just click Request Discovery Session and let's connect. For any questions about the podcast or to submit a question or topic you'd like discussed, you can email me at womenlivingbetterpodcast@gmail.com. Until next time, keep living better each day.